I'll stand for the flag salute.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Yes, indeed. Commissioner Pollock-Root.
Present.
Commissioner Serco.
Present.
Commissioner Sotile.
Present.
Commissioner Edison.
Present.
And Commissioner Morose.
Present.
Welcome to the El Cajon Planning Commission meeting. This meeting is being live streamed on the City of El Cajon website. Appeals of final decisions of the Planning Commission made this evening must be filed in writing with the City Clerk before 5 p.m. Monday, August 19th, 2024, and must include the payment of a filing fee. If you wish to speak on either a non-agenda or agenda item tonight, please fill out a request to speak card located by the agenda and turn it into the secretary, who will call you up to speak. Sorry, that would be me. Please turn all your devices off. Sorry. Okay. So, secretary who will call you up to speak when the agenda item comes up for public comment. We ask that you give your name, the spelling of your last name. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The display in the podium, as well on the other monitors in the chambers, will show the counting down. At 30 seconds, the podium clock will read out red, signifying you have 30 seconds until the end of your time. Applicants and individuals representing groups of people may be allowed more time, if appropriate. All public hearing comments should be addressed to me as the chair of the commission and not to individual commissioners or staff members. Please turn off all electronic devices if you've not already done so. At this time, we'll take comments from any member of the public or on any item of business within the jurisdiction of the Commission and that is not on the agenda. Under state law, no action can be taken brought forward in public comment except for the staff, refer to staff or administration, or place it on a future agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to address the Commission under public comment?
I think we just have the two applicants.
Oh, I think that we're good. Consent calendar. A single motion will cover all items on the consent calendar. Does the Commission wish to pull any item on this?
No.
No.
Nope. Perfect. Staff?
No changes from staff.
Perfect.
I move to adopt the minutes as recorded.
I second it.
All vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote of members present.
Okay. So we go to the first item. Okay. So the first item today is agenda item 2, Broadway used car sales for used auto sales at CEQA exempt, and staff recommendation is to approve.
All right. Good evening, Planning Commissioners. My name is Spencer Hayes. I'm the Associate Planner with the Community Development Department. And the first item for your consideration is a conditional use permit for used car sales submitted by Cajon. The proposed used car sales would occur on a previously developed site and includes updates to exterior yard landscaped areas along Broadway and a boundary wall between the commercial use and an adjoining residential property to the north. The site is addressed 972 to 976 Broadway and is between North Mollison Avenue and North Anza Street. The site is roughly a third of an acre and surrounded by commercial uses to the west, to the east, and the south, and again, the single-family residence to the north. The property is designated general commercial and has a consistent general plan designation of general commercial. It has a consistent zone of general commercial. The two existing buildings were permitted via Site Development Plan Permit number 765 in 1980 and have a barn-style design. The project does not propose any changes to the structures other than minor interior work for offices. Under previous ownership, the site was subject to multiple code compliance actions, which ultimately resulted in the closure of a dispensary, the removal of multiple large canopy structures, and the removal of a large amount of trash and debris. The project site shows, again, the proposed 10-foot planter bed area off of Broadway, which would bring the site into conformance with current CG zone standards. Similarly, the project includes a masonry boundary wall, which is required for new commercial developments between the commercial use and residential uses. The subject site plan displays 5 parking spaces up front, but proposed conditions of approval require a final site plan including 8 parking spaces based on the commercial parking ratios in the zoning code. The applicant indicates that they expect only a handful of customers per day and up 1 to 2 staff persons, and so parking at the site would be more than sufficient. The proposed conditions of approval also request a clearly delineated area for vehicle display, which Heartland Fire staff would review to ensure emergency vehicle access to the northerly portion of the lot. Finally, proposed conditions of approval also require an updated trash enclosure consistent with current standards. And I'm sure the Commission's probably familiar with the site in question, but here's the street view from Broadway. Again, a 10-foot landscaped area is proposed at this frontage, and the existing metal fence is proposed to remain. Staff's recommendation of approval is accompanied by positive findings for consistency with the general plan and with surrounding uses. The normal operation of a used car lot is not expected to be detrimental to health and safety, and there are performance standards and code compliance remedies should any issues arise. Further, the project would activate and update an older commercial development, which has lacked a licensed primary use for multiple years. I should mention that staff received 1 public comment since the agenda was posted, and the commenter only sought to clarify the project location. The proposed project is exempt from environmental review requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, pursuant to Section 15301, which is for existing facilities. And therefore, staff recommend approval of the CEQA exemption and conditional use permit number 2024-0006, subject to conditions. And we're available to answer any questions you have.
Perfect. Any questions?
I don't have any.
Very straightforward.
Perfect. Do we have any speaker cards on this?
We have no speaker cards, but the project applicant is here if you would like to ask questions, but does not need to speak.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Or no?
I don't think I have
No?
any questions.
That's pretty straightforward. It's
The only question that I had when I first saw this was about the auto repair, but it's not been requested, so that's not an issue with the neighbors to the north. So this is a very clean project, so to
Yeah.
speak.
a vast improvement in that area for that location. So I'm glad to see something of the building.
Since we're not opening up
Public comment.
comment,
But
or
yes,
do
if
we need to open it
If
still?
we could
Yeah.
please open the public
Okay.
hearing.
Okay. We can open public comment,
Public hearing.
public hearing.
And since there are nobody wishes to speak on this, I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Oh,
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
so anyone want to move on this, or should I take a stab on it?
Sure.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Well, since there was so much spoken about this, I definitely say that we should move to adopt the next resolution in order to approve the proposed CEQA exemption and CUP number 2024-006, subject to conditions.
I will second that.
Perfect. Please vote.
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
Perfect. I guess on to the. Well, thanks for coming. Now we're on to addendum item 3, the Mollison Villas, which is a new common interest development for a 10 single-family detached residence It is also CEQA exempt, and the staff recommendation is to recommend for City Council approval.
All right. So the second item for the Commission's consideration is a planned unit development and a tentative subdivision map for Mollison Villas, submitted by Rania Saloom of New Vision Building and Design. The proposed common interest development includes an 11-lot subdivision with a common lot for private street access and 10 lots for detached single-family homes. The proposed residences range from 1,730 to 1,850 square feet, with 4 bedrooms, attached 2-car garages, private rear yards, and would be for sale at market rate prices. The site is addressed 1168 to 1174 North Mollison Avenue and is between Broadway and Greenfield Drive. The site currently includes 1 single-family unit on the northerly parcel, and a single-family unit was demolished on the southerly parcel in 2015. Surrounding uses include PUD to the north and to the east. There are single-family residences to the west, and a single-family unit with an accessory unit to the south. In total, the project site is roughly 3/4 of an acre. The property is designated medium-density residential in the general plan and is zoned residential multifamily 2,200 square foot zone, or RM 2200. These designations are consistent and are intended for residential density up to 20 dwelling units per acre. The proposed project is roughly 13.3 dwelling units per acre. While the RM 2200 zone typically yields multifamily style products, a PUD may be proposed in any residential zone and can include uses that are consistent with that zone. And so single family development is a permissible use in the RM 2200 zone. And finally, the original parcels are listed in the housing element sites inventory. And this means that basically they were identified as underutilized and prime for redevelopment. The city actively monitors that site's inventory for remaining surplus of potential units, and in this case, there are adequate remaining sites to meet the expectations of the housing element. This is the proposed PUD site plan. Blue lines represent lot lines. The green hatch represents landscaped areas. The diagonal hatch represents private yards and rear yards. The 10 single-family dwellings are oriented towards the private street, which is accessed off of North Mollison Avenue. The proposed street is 20 feet in width, which is consistent with California Fire Code, but is a deviation from the PUD standard of 22 feet. The findings for a PUD do allow for the approval of alternative development standards, so long as it's in the public interest. Homes observe a minimum 10-foot setback from the public and private street, and interior side yard setbacks of 5 feet. Private rear yards accommodate the minimum square footage for open space, and in side yards include storage areas for refuse containers. Each home includes a 2-car attached garage, a guest space in the driveway, and the site includes 5 supplemental parking spaces throughout the development. Guest parking spaces are dimensioned at 18.5 feet in those driveways, which is consistent with the city standard for uncovered parking spaces in the zoning code. The site also includes a pedestrian path on the northerly side of the private street and adequate backup space for the parking. The site slopes slightly away from North Mollison Avenue, and so therefore a fill is necessary to achieve gravity sewer service and for stormwater compliance. At its height, there would be approximately 4 feet of fill at the westerly side of the development, and retaining walls would reach a maximum height of 6 feet. Including a standard 6-foot privacy fence, the maximum combined height would be about 12 feet, and this is consistent with development in the area, including the PUD directly to the north, which sits well above this project site. Finally, common landscaping is proposed along the project frontage and in front of the homes along the private street. Here are a few of the proposed renders for single-family residences. Note that the buildings along the northerly portion of the site are slightly smaller, and the elevations vary slightly. Exterior materials include stucco, lap siding, and faux stone in contemporary contrasting colors. The roof matches the contemporary design and is asphalt shingle. The proposed height of the units is 24 feet 2 inches, where a maximum of 35 feet is permitted by the RM 2200 zone. And in general, the residences are consistent with the architectural guidelines for planned unit development. And in accordance with those regulations, the structures include changes in wall planes, architectural details on all elevations, and multiple finish materials. As a common interest development, the PUD is required. A proposed condition of approval is the recordation of covenants, conditions, and restrictions (CC&Rs), and the formation of a homeowners association. Common facilities outside the private yards would be maintained by the HOA. And the necessary findings for the PUD are included in the draft resolution on the grounds that the project is consistent with surrounding development, consistent with general plan density objectives. The proposed alternative development standards are further in the public interest as they facilitate satisfaction of the housing element obligations and will not result in unsafe site conditions. They're also consistent with other applicable municipal code standards for such facilities. I should note that staff did receive one in-person comment after the agenda was posted. The commenter lived in the area and wanted to confirm the project location and reviewed the proposed parking configuration, which they indicated they thought would be adequate. The proposed project is exempt from environmental review of the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to guidelines section 15332, which is for infill development projects. Staff therefore Planning Commission recommends City Council approval of the CEQA exemption and the plan unit development and tentative subdivision map subject to conditions. And we can answer any questions you have.
Yes, you said that the driveways are 18 feet long approximately?
Correct.
Okay, so there is availability of parking on the driveway as well?
Correct.
Right. And you mentioned the fire code regarding the width of the street. It's 22 feet or 20 feet?
The fire code specifies 20 feet, and that's what's proposed.
Okay, so that's enough room for the fire trucks to turn around?
Correct, yeah. The site also includes that hammerhead section for a fire truck turnaround.
Okay. Thank you.
A quick question on the landscaping plan. I don't think I saw the landscape plan, but are there adequate trees on the east-west sides for cooling?
Yeah, I believe, if I recall correctly, there are in the concept plan. So a condition of approval is a full landscape documentation package.
Okay.
So in the concept plan, I believe there's about 5 trees in the front 10-foot setback off of North Mollison Avenue. I can't recall in each of these individual yard areas in front of the homes.
The west side has just the 5-foot setback by the homes, so I don't know if they'll fit.
Correct. Yeah, there's a small strip of landscaping at the termination of the private street, which, I'm sorry, I don't recall if there's trees in that area.
Okay. And then was there any working for solar in the plans?
So I believe all new residential has a solar requirement now.
Okay.
So that would be reviewed during building permit review.
All right. Thank you.
Questions?
Nope.
Very well put together. Shall we open public comment on this one? Could we open public comment? Do we have any speakers on this one? Or
I do not have a speaker card, but the applicant
Is
is in the
here.
audience.
Any questions? For
I don't have any.
No.
Thank you. I don't think we have any questions on this one either.
Very well put
I
together.
move to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
Perfect.
I would like to make a motion.
Motion away.
I move to adopt the next resolution in order recommending City Council approval of the CEQA exemption and PUD number 2023-0004 and TSM number 2023-0010, subject to the conditions and also for city council approval on September 10th.
Perfect. I'll second that. Everyone to vote?
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
Thank you. It looks like a great project. Thank you very much.
And Chair, if I may, the Mollison Villas, this item was joint noticed for the City Council hearing on September 10th of 2024.
Perfect. Looking forward to hearing the results. So that, do we have any other updates from staff or
No communications from staff this evening?
question?
I've got a question. I wanted to follow up on the Oakdale building/road thing. I've noticed that they're building. It looks like they're building the two built houses. What was the final resolution on the road? I don't remember hearing if they're going to pave through or cul-de-sac or what it was.
As far as I know, I haven't been out there, to be honest, not recently, but that you're talking about Mint Avenue?
Yeah, I think that's what it is on the other
Yeah,
side.
I believe they had got all their permits, and I'm not sure what the status is. I can't report right now because I haven't been out there to check.
Well, I drive past there,
it.
but I was curious, did the city say the road's going to go through?
Oh, yes, that was
Okay.
approved, yeah, to go through.
All right.
Yeah. It's just a matter of the owner getting his work done.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot of work on those houses. So, cool.
Perfect. Any other?
That was the only thing I had a question over.
Look at that. Well, I say we close the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
And motion carries by unanimous vote.
Thank you. Short.